What a game we have just watched. For the neutral, this would have been amazing. But yeah, 2-2 between Barcelona and Manchester United in the Europa League. I mean, what a game. Both teams really going for it towards the end. Two managers who love to play attacking football. I mean, what else could you want, really, as a neutral? But as a Barca fan, it was nervous at times. Of course, we did go in front, but Man United did give us one hell of a game, and respect them for that. People will say, "Oh, this shouldn't be in the Europa League; it should be in the Champions League." But come on, this is still football heritage. These two football clubs are two of the biggest football clubs in the world, and when they play each other, it's always going to be it's always going to be amazing. It is always going to be amazing when these two football clubs play each other, and that's exactly what we've got here. Let's break down the game. So the first half it was all right. The first half. The only significant thing that really happened, of course, there was a few chances here and there for both teams, but a big worry for Barca. Pedri having to go off with an injury of some sort. Yeah, he went down just no contact, so it must have been some sort of muscle injury. Hopefully, that was nothing too serious and it's just a precaution. Because if we're losing Pedri for the second leg next week, that's going to be a huge, huge blow. But yeah, other than that, not much. Other than that, yeah, a few chances first half. It's where the second half. The second half definitely was where the game came to life. Yeah, only 5 minutes into the second half, Barca win a corner. Yeah, Rafinha whips it in, and then Alonso, don't know, Wan-Bissaka just loses his man completely, which is Alonso. And Alonso just heads it home, past the here, and yeah, I was questioning why Alonso was starting this game. To be honest, I don't know why Xavi dropped Christensen when he's been arguably our best defender this season. But fair play to Alonso, he did get a goal. That's his first goal since his father sadly passed away, and he dedicated that goal to him. That was a really nice touch. Right after that, the lead didn't really last long, unfortunately. Yeah, we lost the ball in the midfield area. Man United pounced. Fred played a nice through ball in for Rashford, and then he just slotted in near post. Ter Stegen has to do better at that. Like, he's no goal should be going in at the near post. Like, no chance. But fair play to Rashford. He put a lot of power on that strike. But Ter Stegen will still be fuming that he let it in near post. And then not long after that, 6 minutes later, Jules Koundé concedes an own goal. And then Man United go 2-1 up at the Camp Nou. Yeah, the Koundé had a pretty shocking game, I've got to be honest. There was times where some of his touches were off, passing was off. Of course, he scored an own goal. Yeah, he's putting us in some really dangerous situations. Very, very dangerous. And then Man United, yeah, they were putting in some tackles. Casemiro got booked. Ten Hag got booked for giving a mouthful to the officials. Then we made a triple change. Alonso, Kessie, and Alba were off. And then Christensen, Ansu Fati, and Balde came on. Uh, Kessie, he didn't do much in the game, but he was still pretty solid. Alba was alright. I mean, Alonso got the goal. Got the goal. But here is a very bad point. Gavi getting a yellow card. And since he got that booking, he is now suspended for the return game at Old Trafford. And that's going to be a huge miss because if we have now lost both Gavi and Pedri for the second leg, it's going to be a big, big ask. Big ask. Losing two key midfielders, potentially. It's going to be a very big ask. But thankfully, we did manage to get the equaliser. Rafinha whipped in a cross. Originally, when it happened, I thought Lewandowski got a touch and made it 2-2. So I originally thought Lewandowski had scored, but it turned out from the replays that it just went straight through. Rafinha's cross just went straight through everybody and it went into the back of the net. So yeah, fair play to Rafinha. He was probably our best player tonight. Honestly, Rafinha was our best player, which is why I was very surprised that he got subbed off for Ferran Torres. Like, what was that about? Like, why did Xavi sub off Rafinha when he was our best player? Like, it doesn't make sense. And Rafinha wasn't happy with it either. He had a very angry reaction to being subbed off. There was a few things Xavi. I mean, the lineup at first was questionable. Alonso coming in for Christensen, I didn't understand at all. I suppose I could understand Alba coming in for Balde just because of the experience sort of thing, but I still don't get why he started Alonso. I know Alonso scored, but I don't understand why he dropped Christensen. I really don't get it. But thankfully, we managed to hold on for a draw. I would have liked the win, but when we did push for the win towards the end, Casemiro hit the post when knew he scored an own goal by hitting the post. And then we had another few chances as well. Raho from corners looked dangerous. Yeah. All the match ratings. Rafinha was man of the match. He got 8.7. Alba got 7.6. Yeah, Pedri went off really early with a suspected injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Yeah, Kunde was terrible. I've got to be honest, he was terrible today. Really, really bad. I don't know what was up with him tonight, but he was not at the level. Wan-Bissaka for Man United, he was a weak link. My word. The amount of times Jordi Alba would have a lot of free space on this left-hand side. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka was definitely a weak link, and I'm a bit disappointed we couldn't exploit that more. But Varane definitely built him out of it. Wan-Bissaka out a bit. Rashford definitely, though, when they came in. Weghorst, he started up front, but then he became more of a midfielder. He was just everywhere. Weghorst. Everywhere other than being up front. Fred was actually really good. I would argue Fred could potentially be Man United's man of the match. He was really solid in midfield. Fair play to him. De Gea had a good game. He had a very big save to make in the second half. Ansu Fati had a very good strike that De Gea had to save. And Casemiro had a good game holding up the midfield. He's so key for them, Casemiro. So key. Like, he is literally the missing piece in the jigsaw for Man United. Yeah, they only brought on one sub, Garnacho, as we brought on quite a few. Man, if Dembele was fit for this game, it could have been so different. But again, Man United did have their injury concerns. And of course, they didn't have Lisandro Martinez for this first leg due to suspension, but he'll be back for the second leg at Old Trafford. So that will be tough. And, the stats, Man United had the better XG. Both teams had the same amount of shots. Yes, it was a pretty even game, I've got to be honest. Very even game. And fair play to both teams because this was a very, very good game to watch. Very good game. And if we look at our fixtures coming up, we got Cadiz on Sunday. We should be winning that game. And then we've got the second leg next Thursday against Man United at Old Trafford. Honestly, either team could go through there. Either team could go through. It's hard to tell. You would probably say Man United would be the favourites, but you just never know. You never know. You really don't. If we turn up on our day, we can definitely beat Man United, but of course, with them being at home and then having Sandro Martinez back, as well as us potentially having Gavi and Pedri not in the team due to suspension and potential injury, yeah, it's not just big ask. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. That's where we're going to leave this match review today, guys. Hope you have enjoyed it. What a game we just seen, and I'll see you in the next one when we review the Cadiz game. Hopefully that will be a win, but you just never know because Cadiz seem to be a bit of a bogey team for us.